Hey, and welcome to Andy as a Service. So, posted a video the other day about the channel when it comes to seeking as a service, when I'm looking for my various options. And I got a few questions. So, I wanted to actually just read those questions out loud and answer them here. Of course, if you have any questions, you're welcome to get a hold of me on LinkedIn or YouTube, or just go directly to bird.andy@gmail.com and send me your question, and I'm more than happy to respond if I know the answer, and if I don't, then I'll go try to find the answer and get back to you accordingly. But one of them was, okay, Andy, so you talked about going through some type of distribution method. It's typically called the channel to engage your as a service needs. Do I do that, or do I go directly? Because it didn't seem like it was entirely clear. And to be fair, I'm actually walking a line here. It was not clear because there's benefits and drawbacks to both. So let's talk a little bit about those benefits and drawbacks, just so that it's reiterated and the point hits home. If you go through a channel, you get some awesome expertise. And there's a great amount that you're going to get from that, especially if you're doing multiple as a service. So if you're looking at platform as a service plus infrastructure as a service, you might find that going through the channel is very, very beneficial. So in that regard, because you're going to get the expertise. The problem that I typically have with channel is you got to make sure that you're going through a good channel. And there's some good guys out there. I'm pinging a few of them now to see if we can get them on just to chat. So in my industry where I work, I do VCAS and CCAS. And we haven't always been, number one in the channel with those channel partners, because channel partners are typically going to respond to the loudest, and sometimes it's the best. That's why I say you got to find a good channel partner to go through, because it can't just be the ones that bring them, donuts every single day to wake them up in the morning. It has to be the channel that's going to be best for your business. And so finding a good one, it's not necessarily hard, but it takes some due diligence. And that's my second point, is there's due diligence required no matter which way you go. I work for direct, so I do not work for the channel, but I love the channel. So, but you still have to do your due diligence. You should know going in a few items. You should know what you're looking for as a service, what your requirements are for that service, and how you want to be supported for that service. And if you understand those three requirements, then you understand your objective of what you're trying to accomplish. And understanding that objective will help you guide the channel into helping them find the best solution for you. There is no reason why you couldn't go direct with some of them, and so you should consider that. But you have to make sure that you have that upwork done first before you even start engaging in the conversation with anybody whatsoever. So that was one of the biggest questions, is just making sure that point got hit home. The other question is really, what's the price difference? Is there a benefit to going direct? Am I going to get a price break? And typically no. You're going to get similar pricing from the channel. There's only one thing that, like I say, that I have to say about the channel, and that is just making sure that you have your objectives set, and that they either give you multiple options, or you don't feel like you're being steered in only one direction unless that one direction meets your needs completely. And like I said, there's some really good partners out there, and I'm hoping to get some of them on. If you are a partner and you're probably one of the ones I'm thinking of, then feel free to reach out to me again soon too. But that's the idea. But the price differentiation, usually what happens is whoever's providing the service has an MSRP, or they have a list price. And then they discount it for the channel, and the channel, they usually discount it more because the channel typically buys more, so that's why the partner gets that little bit of a break, and then you still end up getting what that normal differentiation would be, because they discount it for you or provide you with the additional services that are going to compensate for that. That ends up being just a massive, massive deal, and a good thing for you overall. When you go direct, you're still going to get likely a discount. You can negotiate that. And again, I have my biases, but my biases aren't important for purposes of what we're doing here. The purpose is I'm just trying to help you get your hands on additional services so that you can make your business run smoother, you can operate during this pandemic, and we can go forward. The theory crafting from the last episode. There's just more theory crafting on what's going to happen with this pandemic. How is that going to be even considered? Because there's a lot of considerations, and this was the last question that I'll answer. One of those considerations is I operate a business out of a shop as well, or an office space. And if you do so and you're operating out of a shop, you need to start considering what things that you can go ahead and enable so that you can make things more remote, so you can make things more manageable. List them out, prioritize them, and prioritize them based upon value. I'm, again, very biased. I'm a product manager at heart. And so I always wanted to look at the value of everything that I'm prioritizing, and I want to assess that value versus everything else. So everything from POS systems to how you transact on a daily basis to customer support, all those things, they got to be prioritized. And I will tell you this, I will give you one little secret that I believe that my theory crafting is correct on. Customer engagement is probably now more important than ever. And I'm just going to say that for this last little notion, and it's just a side bit, and it's totally an Andyism, but Simon Sinek says that we're tribal, and I don't disagree with him at all. Simon Sinek is the bomb. If you have not checked him out, subscribed, followed him in any way, shape, and form, you should read Start With Why right away. It is one of the best business books ever written on the culture of, or business culture, I should say, as a whole. That's why do you do things. But there's an aspect of what he says about us being tribal people, and that doesn't, we're not going into any politics or anything else like that. We just like community. We like to be around one another, and it goes so far as we liking us to be around one another that our interactions matter on a regular basis. So it doesn't matter which as a service you're looking at right now. Just make sure that each one of them is very, very understanding of you're going to make that interaction the next best you possibly can. There are things that you're going to have to optimize and move away from so that you can make your other interactions very, very, very important and worthwhile for your customers. And that is huge. So customer interaction, I think, is going to be the next step, and we'll talk more about that on the next episode. We'll talk to you later.